If you need pressure to function, if you crash after things go well, or when you can't relax even when you have time, you are not lacking discipline. You are pushing yourself beyond what your system can sustainably hold. In this video, I'll show you 7 clear signs that you are operating beyond your nervous system capacity and why that's what's actually draining you. Because this isn't about motivation and it's not about willpower. It's about whether your system can actually hold the way you are living your life. You can perform, but you can't relax. You get things done, you show up when needed, but the moment there's space, you don't land. You scroll, you distract yourself, you stay slightly activated. That's a sign your system doesn't feel safe in off mode. Everything feels heavier than it should. Simple things feels effortful. Reading emails, cooking some dinner, starting tasks, making small decisions, not because they are harder, but because your baseline load is already high. You override small signals. You feel tired and you push. You feel resistance and you ignore it. You feel overwhelmed, you minimize it. These moments seem small, but they teach your system that it's not being listened to. And this is actually the point where you start thinking that something is wrong with you, when actually your system has stopped trusting you. You need pressure to function. You tell yourself, I work best under pressure. But what's actually happening is your system has learned to rely on stress to get things done. So without urgency, you feel flat, stuck, unmotivated. You crash after expansion. Things go well, you stretch yourself, you show up more. And then suddenly you disappear. You lose momentum, you feel exhausted. That's a sign expansion is outpacing capacity. You start doubting yourself, not because of evidence, but because your system feels unstable. So your mind explains it. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I can't handle this. But often it's not a truth problem. It's a capacity problem. Rest doesn't restore you. You take time off, but you don't feel better. Because you're not just tired. You are carrying unprocessed activation. So you are resting on top of an overwhelmed system. If you recognize yourself in this, there's nothing wrong with you. You are not inconsistent. You are not undisciplined. You are likely pushing yourself beyond what your system can actually hold. And when that happens, your system will always reduce pressure, not to sabotage you, but to protect you. So the real shift is this. Instead of asking, how do I push through this? You start asking, how do I build the capacity to hold this? Because growth isn't just about what you can reach. It's about what you can stay inside of without collapsing. And here's a simple place to start. Next time you feel pressure, don't immediately act on it. Stay with it for just 10 seconds longer than you normally would. That's capacity building. Not forcing, not fixing. Just not leaving yourself. If you want to understand why this keeps happening and why it repeats no matter how much you try, I break that down in another video. I'll show it at the end. If this resonates, this is exactly the work I focus on. Building nervous system capacity so your life can expand without constantly costing you energy. I've put together a free guide called 7 Capacity Builders. You can find it in the description. You don't need to become better at pushing yourself. You need to become someone who doesn't have to. I'll see you in the next video.